Touch. Taste.
Look.
Smell. Tree.
Bird. Bell. Touch.
Taste.
Look.
Smell.
Tree.
Fish.
Bird.
Bell. So do as the poet says and listen.
And listen.
And listen. And listen. And listen.
And listen.
Hello everyone, welcome to the 34th edition of Glasgow's Open Day Festival. My name is Steve Sheriff, I'm the Events and Development Coordinator for Glasgow Building Preservation Trust and looking forward to taking time using. This is the 34th edition and Glasgow Building Preservation Trust has been delivering events since 1996. The programme is coordinated nationally by the Scottish Heritage Trust. Doors openings happen in every region in Scotland, so I encourage you to go onto the Doors Openings website and find out what other events are going on across the country. I'd like to say this event is being live streamed. If you'd like to catch up on it later, you can jump onto our website and you'll be able to find live recording and make it. We are very grateful to the University of Glasgow for hosting us here in the Ark for the second year in a row, and I'd like to say a special thanks to Cassie Kelling and to Zara Gladman for all the hard work they've put into. The Ark is also host to Explorathon, which is a programme of events happening over the weekend celebrating all the incredible research that goes on in this building. So do come by and see us in that programme, which will be happening. The ground floor of that building is open all of the time, and there's always amazing things happening here, so I encourage you to make it part of the habit when you're walking through this part of the city. Come and see what's going on up there. We've had a huge programme this year. It's about 270 events, and we include all of the additional ones and all the ideal things. So jump onto the website and have a look, make sure you get familiar with the programme. Lots of events are fully booked, but there's loads of stuff on there which you don't need a booking for, and the no booking necessary building programme, and also in the in-person events programme, there's lots of things that we don't be looking for, so we jump on and I would like to say a huge thank you to our funders, to Glasgow City Council and to Glasgow City Heritage Trust, to our sponsor Benton's, and to indeed all of our sponsors who make that event possible and keep it free. If you feel like making a donation to help us, you can do so by texting Doors Open to 785 or £5 plus one standard message, or we have some donation buckets in the front door. And yeah, the text donate details are on the website. And on to tonight's main event. Very pleased to welcome to the Ark Murray Wilson from West Glasgow, for everybody in the room. James Murray Wilson, journalist and social historian. Murray Wilson has had a lifelong fascination with his home city. He first fell down the vintage photography rabbit hole when working on the Evening Times. Cycled him as Razor of the Lost Archives. Now with over 300,000 online followers on his Lost Glasgow site, he continues to tickle the city's collective muscle memory. testing out those stories, teasing out those stories, forgotten facts, and the lost histories hidden in the photographic record of the history. Tonight, we'll be trying to make sense of the city using historic photos to revisit some of the forgotten sights, sounds, smells, tastes, and sensations of Lost Bastion. Please join me in welcoming Laurie Wilson.
Right, see if I can get this microphone technique right. Are we all well? Good to see you. When Stephen and the Glasgow Building Preservation Trust who organised those open day announced the theme for this year's festival, the non-visual senses, I thought, that's me absolutely snookered. It's basically all I'm doing is all photographs. But I actually thought longer and harder about it. I realised the theme gave me almost free rein to explore how you actually experience the city through our senses, our eyes, our ears, our noses, our throats, our sense of taste, our sense of touch, all those things. So tonight I'm going to sort of dip into Lost Glasgow through forgotten sights, forgotten sounds, flavours and pongs. So sit back, open your eyes, your ears, your noses, and prepare to go exploring. Welcome to the sensual side of the Glasgow. Hopefully I've got this slide. So here's one of my earliest sonic memories of the city. The newspaper street vendors whose strangulated cry, "Time's out, that's seven," used to echo almost every wall in the city, especially come 5 o'clock when the streets are just absolutely calm with road-bound commuters. When I was wee, my brother and I would watch every night when I walked down the road to the station between UB and the paper school. And myself and my brother would literally have fight with cat and dog in hands in evening times. Meanwhile, Dad would sit back in the evening sits and Mum would get busy with the head crossword. And then during work, during the day, we probably also have read the Daily Record. So, one man, 4 newspapers in one day. Now, you've got to work newspapers for nearly 10 years. I don't buy newspapers today. So that's when the whole sight of the city, I mean, the excitement you used to get, particularly if you're around Albion Street when the papers were out, or Mitchell Lane in the days when the Herald was still in Mitchell Lane, and Macintosh building. Fleets and fleets of vans, guys shouting at the tops of their voices, pipes and mumbling like the and it's all vanished. That's all vanished. When was the last time you saw Springfield standing in a pub, on that floor, and Friday night up early in the records? You know, so, and it's now, it's just the journalists. It's the entire supply chains. Bringing the neighbourhood, bringing the times outside, creating the stories. Now, one place used to be able to shout, oh, it was outside of the Navis, station in the Dell. When the station closed in 1966 as part of the street cuts, the newsvendors didn't have far to go. We just moved out into the square, we got bus stands down there, and carried on business as usual. And sadly, despite a weird action by the City Council, to save the landmark as well, the then Scottish Development Agency demolished it with the promise of a new MOD office block right in the centre of the city and 5,000 new jobs for Glasgow, which in the event neither materialised. The MOD built Portcullis House further out of Down Street. I think we got 1,500 jobs, and they're absolutely empty for nearly 20 years until the severe sector came along, which bizarrely itself now faces demolition for a new housing and shopping street. Now, as I say, as much as the council seems to get blamed for demolishing everything, even buildings they don't own, there's a vanished masterpiece that they really can't be blamed for. This is Alexander Beale Thompson's magnificent Queen's Park European Church on Langside Avenue. Sadly, I only know it from photographs, but it was one of the jewels on the south side. Completed in 1869, it vanished in March 1943 as the German incendiary hit it. and the whole place lit up like a Roman candle. And again, for years after the war, the site lay empty. Speaking of going on fire, and if you ever follow Carlotti, the architecture critic in Private Eye, for 30 years or more, he was explaining that in every other city in the civilised world, buildings catch fire. In Glasgow, they went on fire. It's like the story of the two Glasgow publicans out playing golf and stuff. One says that, you know, sorry, you need a pump pump thing. The other guy says, that's this. So, yeah, another great was to the south side. The original Kitty Park Cooperative HQ in Bridge Street. That's what you have seen if you've seen if you stepped out. Actually, I've forgotten the name of the fancy bars pub in Bridge Street. The Lauriston. If you looked out for a city from the Lauriston, that's who you're stood facing. And it was, when it went up, it was the tallest building on the south side. I just got a magnificent cornucopia, detailed dressed stonework, dark stone, all the rest of it. With the figures up on top. And again, sadly, what happens? Wait, fire. In the mid-70s, and still a gap site today. Nice later sort of modern Art Deco building is still there. It's sadly, it's getting sadder and sadder by the day. And I suspect won't go along for this world. So, here's another co-op beauty. When the combined style with wonderful forms, warm sense of fresh baking. This is the old United Co-op Wholesale Society bakery on the Green Street in Gorbals, just opposite Glasgow Green. I always think it looks like the conciergerie in Paris, the side of those wonderful towers. We occupied whole city block. And at one point, it baked 50% of all the bread that was eaten in Glasgow. But again, as supply chains get stretched and all the rest of it, well, you don't really want a bakery right in the centre of a residential area. So again, come the 1970s, it was all demolished, totally demolished. How they repurposed it, I don't know. It was obviously a retail fancy inside. The inside was an industrial complex, an industrial bakery. With all the machinery and all the rest of it, it was hand in hand with that. But when I was young, I used to go and visit my aunt's pal, George Parsonage, down in Glasgow, in the Glasgow Humane Society. I used to think that was a fairy tale castle. And Glasgow's always loved its baking. So here's the old McFarlane and Lang Victoria Biscuit Works, which used to take the air out of Toll Cross. Later taken over by the British. I only ceased production last year, and what's going to happen to the site, I'm honestly not sure. Meanwhile, over in Trinity Park, Craig and Co. were put down beautiful homes. On the south side, this is Stanley Street, down where the Sunday Times and the Sun ended up at one point. And I think just now, just in the last couple of years, built a huge building distribution warehouse on the site. But I still remember that as a kid. Anytime you were on the bus going to the plantation, if the wind was in the right direction, all of a sudden you this huge, lovely, warm laugh with biscuity smells. Speaking of smells, well, here we are at the Brighton Fish Market in the early 60s. Probably about 3 AM in the morning, because that's when the doors open. Basically, doors open at 3 o'clock in the morning, and business was over probably 9 o'clock in the morning, and the guys were all going away up the road. I still remember it was a fresh brine scent for the workers, and used to close the place out. So these beautiful big marble slabs, all the different fish coolers, and the huge piles of crushed ice getting swept in, basically just to melt into the gutter. Now, I'd seen this picture a few times in Eden Townsley, and then one day I just noticed all of a sudden this name up top, John C.W. Gosling. And I thought, Gosling's not a common name in Glasgow. I was at school with a John Gosling. So I tracked him down on Facebook and said, your family event to do with the fish trade? And he's like, aye, how did you know? I've just found a picture of a sign. It says that's my grandfather's shop. And he said when his grandfather retired, he didn't want any of the rest of the family getting into the fish business. He said, it's not the business in the market, 2 o'clock in the morning and all this. So that sign, you carved and built wooden sign, lived in my pals' parents' garage for about 30 years. But the trouble was, he couldn't really be much wrong with it, so it's about 25 feet long. And he said eventually one year his dad just tripped over it for the umpteenth bloody time, took an axe to it and turned it into firewood. So that's, there you go, there you go. And it wasn't only fish shops and restaurants that the market supplied. We forget that right across the city, there was a whole network of fish bars. He's really well, the ones that were rented from Maggie McIver, the Queen of the Bars. We only started the Barland Ballroom because every year she used to organise a huge Christmas party for all the traders at the bars. And we always book into one of Glasgow's big beach hotels. But as you can imagine, Glasgow's bar boys and bar girls, particularly at Christmas, we need a few drinks in them. Perhaps we're the quietest and most sophisticated of guests. So one year, basically the Glasgow hoteliers just said to Maggie McIver, nobody's going to have you this Christmas. She said, that's fine, I'll build more than that in the ballroom. But she did. The remarkable thing about this though is, I found this and bought it online because we're outside the Bricket. The card was written in Queen Street in France. And you think, how the hell did a postcard of the Glasgow fish market end up in France? I mean, you have to remember, Glasgow was a major seaport. There were sailors from all over the world in Glasgow on a daily basis. So you've got to imagine some French mate or fresh off the boat from Marseille or something. Catches it up. Under all the markets to get any muscles, to get any sort of stuff out. Whether he got it or not, we'll never know it. But these lovely bars, they go out and they bought homes around the outskirts of the city, through the posh parts of the city as well. And hourly, as the fish get a bit more witty, the prices come down as well. So if you were buying your fresh air in first thing in the morning, you might be paying $10. If you were buying it at 7 o'clock at night, you might be paying $5. Another vanished site from the city, and one that I noticed, the Club Clog of Horses House. From the Coleman and the Ragman, the grey horses and grey horses, the streets used to echo to Irish feet and shiny sets. And everyone looks at these pictures of the horses and go, all those poor horses that are feeding off the wagon. The poor horses are probably suited better than the Ragman's pits, because his land depended on his horse. And if you ever saw recently down at Scots and Showground, I think we did it for a couple of years in Belarus Park, when there still was a working horse community in Glasgow. And these guys would turn up, these horses would be dressed to the edge of their life, leather shining, brasses polished, tails and manes all cleated, and a great big big beat, which I sound like imagine. But absolutely love it. Trying not to be like that last year, it's hit all the news soon, the regional police and people. And there's so many horses in the street. Invariably, there's other stuff in the streets as well. And if one did his business, someone would watch out for any clothes with the old shovel and up it, and he'd be still stealing gum and a blue bar. I'd prefer personal in mind. Another vanished site, which once dedicated to music, laughter, the clink of well-polished cutlery, wine glasses getting chipped. The Grand Hotel at Charing Cross, lost in the M8, blasted its way through the city. Scene of many a wedding, 21st, a retirement, you name it. I particularly love. This is the only interior shot I've ever been able to find at the Grand Hotel at Charing Cross. And it was taken 3 days before the hotel officially closed. And there was something about an eerie, empty hotel corridor. You can imagine the fun, laughs and sing-alongs that once took place around those 2 upright pianos in the picture, which could be viewed into any of the function rooms. Buffalo Bill dined at the Grand for his 1896 visit to the city, when he set up his Wild West show in Edison. And the incredible thing is, you can still touch a wee bit of Buffalo Bill's magic in Glasgow, because when the hotel was eventually closed, put up for demolition, every single item in the hotel was auctioned off. So if you wanted to buy 150 double beds, 300 bedside cabinets, 300 whatever, all the cutlery, all the glassware, everything went to auction. A young trained architect in Glasgow bought the great big revolving doors, and he kept them in his parents' garage for about 20 years. And when he finally qualified, one of his first jobs was converting the old accounts office of the fruit market into the Cafe Godolphin. And he thought, I've got the perfect doors for that. Now, I've been going around Cafe Godolphin probably since it first opened in 1979. And I've always wondered about these doors because they're so over-engineered. They're so beautifully made. And the incredible thing is, if it's too hot, too busy, rather than revolving them, they unhook those 2 bits, and the doors can lie flat, so you get a nice breeze in and out the building. So the next time you're in at the Cafe Godolphin for a coloured stout or whatever, and you put your hand in that big door and push it through, imagine the most stuff will coming the other way. No, there's no Applegate Cowboys in Glasgow. Another smell I found very reminiscent of Irish Glasgow is that of the good tobacconists. At one point in the 1700s, Glasgow merchants with their luxurious slave estates controlled almost 90%, think of that, 90% of the tobacco trade in the whole of Europe. It all came through Glasgow. And if you can imagine back at that point, like every man, wife, dog, everybody smoked. The place was in a permanent state of smoky furnace. And I saw this from George, my friends, in the corner of George Square, which is now an Italian restaurant. And when I was probably about 16 or 17, I thought myself a bit of a Larby. That was when I used to go to get my French francs. Walk about in the police clear, your shooter, and your galwise, and very sophisticated until you start attacking at that sort of thing. And with this place, was enough, is getting swung, but it was sold and eventually became an Italian restaurant. If you were running around 40 feet of solid oak, honeywork, the counter was absolutely beautiful. And they polished to a mirror finish by over 100 years of hands going back and forth across cigarettes, tobacco, cigars, pipe tobacco. The smell was just wonderful. And a pal who's a designer, who actually used to work at the People's Palace in the glory days of Elizabeth and Michael Donnelly, the People's Palace, and the People's Palace really was the People's Palace. So Douglas Hall, 40 feet of this counter and all the supporting bits underneath. They used about 6 feet of it to make a breakfast bar in his own kitchen, once for a bungalow. And I should point out, bought the 40 feet of it for £200. So he used about 6 feet of it for his own kitchen breakfast bar. He sold the remaining footage of it for £3,500 to a bar in New York. And I'm going to have to track him down, because I'm supposed to be in New York next year at some point. And if I can find that bar, I want to go in and sit at the same bit of it that as a 16-year-old I bought my French cigarettes over. Something else that really didn't excite my senses growing up, possibly because I grew up with a grandfather who had gone to sea in the days of sail, born in 1886 in Aberdeen. He'd been 4 times round Cape Horn under sail before he was 21. And very quickly realised that when diesels and steam came along, he'd be at his head around that. So he was a chief engineer out the line for 30 years on the Eastern Mediterranean run, 6 weeks away, 2 weeks home, 6 weeks away, 2 weeks home, leaving Granny to bring up family of 3. So the Clyde has always excited me. So here's the Queen's Dock in its heyday. When they sent exotic imports, Canadian apples, West Indian bananas, and shecht covered Irish coos would go up the river from down there. What's quite nice is, even though the St. Peter's Hotel and large parts of the old Gorbals were used to infill the Queen's Dock with a hydro in the SEC steamhouse stands, there's a lovely smell back at Queen's Dock. It was just over, trying to be a sums now. So it must be about 6 or 7 years ago. My pals Andrew and Tim Morrison took on the old pump house, which used to provide the hydraulic power for the riverside cranes and for the great big swing bridge gate. And opened the Glasgow distillery. And if you go out there now, you have a lovely smell at the distillery. And also a very good cafe. I was in there just the other week. Nearly says Dutch and balls of whiskey, but we gloss over that. As I say, my marine engineer grandfather used to say, like, the Clyde was such Eastern Mediterranean run for almost 30 years. And one of my earliest memories of him is, he was probably in his 80s by this stage, but I was still wee. And it's him every morning. He would take myself and my big brother out into a garden, a long pile of fire off his arms. We'd be allowed to stay up until midnight. He had my PJs and my dressing room and my slippers. And you get snipped, and you get to go out the house, the PJ and the dressing room and your slippers, to listen for the hooters on the Clyde at midnight. Because my grandpa had spent enough businesses and years far from home. And he knew that for every hooter he heard, there was some poor boy who was far from home. And Grandpa was, raise a glass, raise a ram to Schwarner shipmates. And I still, even though there haven't been hooters in the Clyde for the best part of 30 years, still really listen for them. I still really listen for them. Of course, the other noise of the Clyde was the song of the Clyde, the hammers ding dong. I've always loved this pick from one of the oven yards. Sorry, I'm on the mince pick around. Yeah, this is the one that I've set off. This is down at Stephen's yard in Govan. And that's all the shipyard workers up in the gantries while they're building one ship. There's a launch going on that day and they all want a good view of it. And it's like the biggest game of Glasgow celebrity squares and there's your Uncle Archie, top left. There's Bill from down the road, middle right. And it's just such a joyous thing. Because these guys would never sail on these vessels. Some of these vessels they would never see again in their lives. But they would have spent 4 or 5 years of their life getting to know every inch of that shit from when the keel was laid till when the bottle was smashed in the front and it was fitted out, and then it would vanish in the time, it would vanish from their lives forever probably. So when one of their boats was down the slurpy, they were going to bloody cheer on because it was their work, it was their life blood that had gone into it. In very often cases, it was their lifeblood. Another great spell from childhood days was the ozone fresh set for air dried shirt. I mean, you clean your sheets and you're coming out to dry, you wind your bed at night. That's seen it happen. I still love that smell. And the great thing is, as citizens of Glasgow, we retain the right to do our washing and dry our laundry on Glasgow Green. And if you go down to the green, the old Victorian drying pools are still there. I'm not saying somebody's not going to steal your son these days if you leave it too long. But we still retain the legal right to that. And I'm lucky. I know, as I say, this Stevie, we are polished leader at the top. But Mum used to talk about going to the steam edge and she got watching the street till she got married. And you can almost smell the steam, the omo, the carbolic soap in that picture. It's just wonderful. And the evening of that retard skirt, basically, sadly, Vernon was laying ahead for her when she got a bit older, the same as Mammy, going to the steamy once a week with all the dirty clothes. But of course, after the hard work was done, there was always time for me to sit down, my leather, wee bit of knitting, unless the rain came on, if you cue a mad Keystone Cops style dash, we get Everton off the lines, I actually saw somebody doing that just, when was it, Saturday then? No, in fact, it was just yesterday with that tremendously rain that we had. As we were doing old Uncle's shop in Main Hill, and it just came on, and sure enough, looking across the road, and this poorly woman came flying out of her bag, just grabbing it, rushing back into the house. Another old saint of the city has vanished. The proper smell of the old subway, and it was a unique mixture of, I don't know, oil, sweat, electricity, stale smoke, and that huge warm blast of rushing air from down our tunnels at train roads, and then the big after that was one going the other way. And remarkably, in a city that was rife with tuberculosis and bronchitis, some folk thought the smell of the subway was good for the chest. And waves would be taken and we stood in front of subway entrances so that we get a good blast of the subway air. And there might be some truth in this next one, because one of the other things that was thought to be really good for your chest was the smell from a tar boiler. And I still love the smell of a proper, there's road around up and I used to call it tar. Oh, it's magic. And this, particularly this picture, if you know, just over the Gorbals, enough, the Building Preservation Trust that run this, and Glasgow City Heritage Trust, just in the last couple of years, spent a lot of their money, so technically their money, to restore the wonderful James Salmon Jr. British Running Band, just sort of opposite the Citizens Theatre. And that's it. You can see in the background, actually, its back window, these big arched windows. And it's back looking brilliant again. First year it was nice. Whoever the local Gordon's MP was at the time, he started off as a local Gordon's councillor, Frank McElwood. And Frank McElwood had his local MP's office in the building. And Frank was such a big softy, such a big nice guy. He'd been brought up by a widowed mother, and his mum used to run a corner shop in the Gorbals. So his mum always gave customers tip, always a tip out. If somebody's a bit short of money, well, they might be excellent. And Frank's office, Frank was much the same, because there's always walking in, there's always seen Frank for it, so this one got a house to be used Frank's bank. And Frank really no money leverage way, but giving folk money all over the world just to help them out. Straight enough, his son is big Johnny McElroy. He was lived the guitarist with Alter Villages, he's now the guitarist with Texas. And what's seen or beating a teenage disco is that. This next bit, for a variety of reasons, fires all my senses. The old John Smith and Son bookshop in St. Vincent Street. This really was a gateway into a Glasgow army of their imagination. As a wee boy, sitting, given usually something to sit up about, not like that, given 300 on the children's section. You were, and it's strange because it's like anything in life. You go through different stages. One minute you're reading your children's books, the next minute you haven't got your bloody school books. A few years later, it's books for university or college. Slowly but surely, you work your way up the building till you're just getting buying books for your own bloody collection. And other reason that I'm very fond of this, my architect grandfather on my dad's side, he built a rooftop extension, storage extension to John Smith and Sons way back in the 1920s. And I'm not sure if they asked him to do that because of a family connection, or whether he just tendered for the job and got it. Because one of my grandfather's brothers started work in John Smith's in 1880 or something, age 12, fresh out of school. His dad and grandfather before him had been good binders in the high street, so up beside the original Glasgow University. Because that's what the business was. If you were a book binder, you wanted to be right beside the university, because the days before mass-produced books, everything had to be bound by hand. And if you had a bit of money, you not only get your book bound by hand, you get it back in beautiful Morocco red leather. And if you were feeling particularly flush, you might even the author's name, the rest of it, Mark Titan, gold on it. So this other uncle, sadly one that I never knew, John Eddie Wilson, big name. He started in there when he was 12. He knew all the authors of the day by the time he was about 16. He would later moved down to London, where he ran hat shops in Piccadilly, booksellers to the crew. And then set up his own publishing company called Bumpus Books. And in the sort of 1920s, 1930s, he was regarded as the finest bookseller in the English-speaking world, which is quite a claim to fame. And his friends H.G. Wells, George Bernard Shaw, and all the rest of it stayed in a huge house out in North London, which was literally one of these places for prolifically right. He hung out with Uncle John, who was such a good lover and so knowledgeable about selling books. Yeah, so I mean, as I say, the books that I bought there, read in there, Billy Cotton used to work as a delivery driver for me. It transported me out of Glasgow to begin with. It took me to other worlds, whether it was a textbook book, a streets of gold book. When he travelled me around, and then as I got older, I started buying books in Glasgow, and it translated me back into Glasgow, which is equally important. Other places, other times. But there's another saying which is actually quite unique to hear, and that's Gibson Street. Glasgow's very own Clay Canyon. Some folk were big Curio fans before it fell into River Kelvin. There's other folks, they're Sheesh Mahal fans. And that's Mr. Ali standing at the front. He sadly only died a couple of years ago, well into his 90s. The guy who supposedly invented tikka masala. And Sheesh was always popular, but you didn't always see a queue like that outside it. Hang on, see if I get that. The dates right. Yeah, this is 1979. And to mark the restaurant's 15th birthday, Mr. Ali had rolled the prices back to 1964 levels. So you kind of look, you're getting a full levy for the one around $10. I love the thing about Mr. Ali is Mr. Ali's father actually started what is regarded as the first curry restaurant in the West End, the Green Gates in Bank Street. And used to be able to go in with your own pots and pans. The days before we invented the chicory trays and all the rest of it, you can literally go in with your own pots and pans, so you can get a pan of chicken curry, you can get a pan of lamb curry, you can get some rice, then you walk over down and stick it in the oven and go. So I mean that was, and as I say, I thought the Green Gates, actually stuck this picture in, I thought the Green Gates was the first proper Indian in Glasgow. But it turns out it's an airline, just on Windsor Terrace, just as far end of Surrey Hall Street. And there was an Indian restaurant there that only lasted for 2 years, and it was opened in 1938 for the Empire Exhibition. Because of course you get visitors coming from all over the world, so you want to show off, you know, what you can do food-wise in Glasgow. How many Indian visitors are there to the Empire Exhibition, I don't know. But as I say, I found an advert for it in the back of the official exhibition guide to 1938, and I thought there must be some trace of that. So myself and the architect pal, John Doe, we went looking, and sure enough, there's still there's ironwork fencing on the outside of the site where the restaurant used to be, and the gate posts are shaped into cobra's heads. How exotic. Yeah, so I mean, obviously the West End was well set for curry, but we need to remember our friends in the East, particularly the Oakleys. when the only Indian takeaway shop in Oakleys got demolished. That's the key to cure them up. Oakleys eats the Cora! Probably still does. That's the same thing. And we can forget the proper mouth-watering smell of a proper chip shop. I just love this. And this is the old Marina chippy on the high street. You just look at that. It's a symphony in Formica. It really is. That beautiful combined deep art and cloth. Actually, that in the house. Happily. And spread of looking. It's a beautiful picture of originally, something usually finished. I said, that's my uncle's so she's such, and it's called Marina after his mum. His mum's name was Marina, and we were Italian influence to Glasgow. The other thing that made me very curious is this: what the hell is Argo chicken? I actually looked it up. I mean, basically, it's just a company that supplies chickens called Argo Wholesale, which remarkably still exists and is still supplying chickens to the carry-out trade. Now, when we sell to an extent, Edinburgh still has, it seems to have vanished from Glasgow, and that's the beer smell from a brewery. I suspect the reason is because Charles Tennant went away to Germany in the late 1800s and came back with a recipe for lager. Glasgow over the years has become more and more of a lager-dominated city. So there isn't actually that much heavy dark beer produced in the city anymore. Most of that's all produced in Edinburgh, and you yourself, you're in the bus on the train to Edinburgh. You sit smell Edinburgh in your babies. If the wind's in the right direction, 15 minutes before you see the castle. This is the rather lovely cosy corner pub. It used to sit in the corner of English Street and George Street. That's the Republican pub on that. A chat was doing today in the bar, but listen, Monday night, past an hour at that time. Beauty is in the eye of the beer holder. Other sights that vanish from the city are the buzz of brightly coloured neon lights, the sight of rain-slit sets, and the lovely low sort of hum of rubber wheels and rubber stones. Not so much fun as you're riding a bike, because when you spit a rain and you turn into skating right in a bike. But that's, I'm looking down Hope Street, there's Whoppers on the left, Saturday night closed, and I'm looking up towards what's at that point was the use of all cinema, which would later become the Majestic Ballroom. As it's commonly known to regular ballroom was the magic stick. What's also quite interesting about this one is, and I've noticed it for years now, it's not a bit strange. The second level had windows in Watt Brothers, and they were deliberately designed so the folk sitting upstairs in a tram that were stopped to the lights would look straight at the window. Which I think is just a genius bit of it. And what a lot of folk don't realise either is that actually underneath Watt Brothers there is a spectacular Art Deco basement area, which was called the Sunshine Arcade. Because you imagine in Glasgow, in fact, when you sit proper Victorian coloured shopping arcade, seems like after a city that has dream of Glasgow, you think the idea of shopping somewhere nice and warm and dry would have caught on a bit more. But as I say, underneath that is a beautiful Art Deco arcade. And I only know about it because it turns up in the original BBC adaptation of John McCar's Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. John Bannon thinks he's getting followed. Glasgow at this point is doubling for, Brno in Czechoslovakia. So there you have it, the closest thing you could find in the UK to looking at the arse end of a Soviet regime was Glasgow in the 1970s. But all as I say that the arcade bits still exists, and if you watch the reruns of Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, you get street scenes there. It's the days before CGI, so rather than computer generated, it's bits of Wall Street that then you actually get painted almost like scenery into the background, so it doesn't look quite enough at Glasgow. And they actually laid down artificial rubber sets just at that Sucky Hall Street crossing there, so to make more. And of course, all the ladies do just give it up one way wind, and the street going to come up anyway. The original sets would be there. Another vanish sound is that of a traditional busker. Absolutely love this guy. That's William Scotty McLean, who when I was growing up genuinely was the pipe piper in Glasgow. He always had his tartan tammy on, he always had his tartan scarf on. When I was wee, I would play my mum, and I was somebody was 6. Eventually, I never 10 pence or something. He puts in his hat, because I knew what was happening, but I didn't take pence in his hat. He gave me a big smile, big light, and he'd stick his 2 penny whistles up his nose, and he would play a tune through his nose. And it's unusual, this in Glasgow, people name stories about him. He's got a villa in Florida. He followed his California every year. He didn't live in a consultancy of that much. He'd badly injured, I think it's his left leg. He badly injured his left leg. Two accident when he was 23 or 24 and spent the rest of his life passing in Glasgow. And he didn't hear out of it, but he certainly didn't have a villa in Florida, holiday in California. Another Winston or something seems to have totally vanished from the city. Children's script songs. I bet there's not a person in this room over the age of 40 that if I told wouldn't be able to remember their own script songs. Because there was so much part of the street culture in Glasgow and they adapted over time. One of my neighbours used to sing an absolutely chilling one. It was all about the pizza mango murders. They made it up in the playground about the 7 or 8 because for months mango was all over the newspapers, all over the television. So they made up a script song about a mass murderer. Yeah, so when you're playing ball against the wall, skipping the elastics, you've got a great source of hand-me-down humour. I mean, murder, Paul is 3 stairs up, the one in the middle door hit me with a cup, the cup got broke, my face all cut, murder, Paul is 3 stairs up. And these things just, who knows who writes them, who knows when they disappear, but all of a sudden they're gone. And once they're gone, you never get them back. It's a generational thing. The people who remember well this things are starting to do now. So if you've got a granny, well, ask her what she sang, which used to be singing. Glasgow also misses the metallic clang, bell, pushing noise of the Glasgow trams. Oddly enough, the service ended 61 years ago last week. So the only trams I've seen have been in other European cities or the Transport Museum. And it's also a great explanation. If you wonder why Glaswegians of both sexes are world-class G-walkers, it's because the trams used to run in the middle of the street. If you wanted to jump on or jump off, you had to fight the traffic before you got to the tram. And I love this guy, the manager, who's stepping out. And it's a bit like being see the midnight cowboy with a snore. Just imagine him banging the side of his arm. Going, hey, I'm walking here, I'm walking. Yeah, the tram's no street. It's his street. And one thing that combines taste and scent is the magic of our Italian friends. When we first started coming to the city, really just in the 1860s, there's Mr. Crolla with his ice cream bar down near Glasgow Green. Oddly enough, about not 90%, probably about 70-80% of nearly all the Italian families in Glasgow come from one of 3 villages in northern Tuscany: Barga, places up in the Afringana Valley, Lucca. And they've all known each other family-wise for decades, for centuries. Because, you sit and speak to somebody and say, oh, his grandfather had a farm near my grandmother's. Oh, that's like, think somewhere in the west of Scotland, they're still talking about farms that had in the 1800s. And when the Great Poverty came in the 1860s and 1870s, who knows who the first Italian guy was that came to Glasgow? One look at a leather and went, everybody, it's magic. They must have been sadly disappointed with them. And for the rest of them were literally just over the street. That's former ship's carpenter of Flavo Veraccia and Mara Veraccia outside the University Cafe. Alfredo had come over as a ship's carpenter to work in the Clyde. Because he was Italian, he could do all that intricate stuff, all the inlay, all the beautiful woodwork. Come in 1918, the end of the First World War, with a collapse of shipbuilding, the Clyde, so no warships anymore. And he thinks, Christ, what am I going to do? I mean, I think so. Mama's a very good, and I can really be nice to him. So that's what he did. And if you go into the cafe today, all the beautiful woodwork, that's still Alfredo's original woodwork. And if you're feeling a wee bit dodgy, because they put big formica tops on a lot of the tables, you put your hand under the table, apart from some valuable bits of chewing gum. That's the original tables, still underneath the Alfredo days in 1918 to dress out as the cafe. And he dressed out as the cafe, I see he dressed out one of the great liners out of the time. Beautiful silk, most beautiful wood paneling, the finest mahogany, teak. I must say some of that was stuck up straight the back door of the shipyard. Because it's the plastic tail, and sadly, it's still shut. Whether or you open or not, I don't know. Lugano, a lot of the beautiful woodwork in Lugano was wood that had been specified for the Queen Mary. And the horses at the yard used to peel off their barbels with 20 yards of big mahogany and lots of big teak, and it all went into the design of Lugano. And here's right. First encountered wonderful Italian food and Polish food and coffee along most epicures in West Nile Street. Downstairs, it was probably the best deli I've ever been in my life. Upstairs, the bistro bit was just glorious. I was opened by another Italian chap called Romano Zambucci, who owned various restaurants in Glasgow and a couple of nightclubs. But his equally glamorous Polish wife, Anna, used to teach art beside my mother at London College. So anytime I was in the town in the morning on a Saturday, Mum would always say, "Boy, you see Anna, epicures know that coffee." So first place I ever tasted an espresso, first place I ever had cappuccino, first place I ever tasted proper Parma ham. All these little delights that stay with you. And Anna's brother and her sister were usually front of house up the stairs. So when I was about 14 or something, first proper girlfriend, I met her in the town on a Saturday, and I said, "Do you want to go for a coffee?" And while most other folk would go to Oliver's or Wimpy or somewhere, I took it here, walked up that wee narrow stair, went to the top of the stairs, and Anna's brother was busy polishing glasses. And bless him, he just looked up and went, "Ah, Mr. Wilson, your usual table. That's the one for me today." Those front seats up at the window, one of the best merits of the city, because you were also directly across the road from Aberdeen to this hairdressing shop. So you were seeing the cream of the Glasgow glitterati. Been in and out there all day, beautiful women, handsome men, all the rest of it. And eventually, when Romano retired, I got sold off at the college, doesn't have an office walking the side. I'm not even sure if Romano's still there, although he started that great important business. Now, a real lot of side and sound, and one thing I'm not usually in favour of reading poetry, but the massive murmurations of starlings that used to twist and turn over the city before roosting, singing, and shitting from almost every ledge in the city has vanished. That's a wonderful poem by Liz Lochhead, the former backer. And it's so perfect, it could have been written about what I tried to do with Lost Glasgow, and it's just called A Few Old Photographs. Weather evocative is said, the romance of dark storm clouds and big skies over the low-lying river, of long shadows and longer shafts of light, of smoke, fabulous film noir stills of Central Station, of freezing fog silvering the chilled, still parks of the glamorous past, with drops in a rain-made, of sequins in the lamplight, in the black and white. Your young, still lovely mother laughs, the endless sundress, whipped up by a wind at each before you were born. All the dads and hats are making for central at 5:05. In the snow, in the rain, in the sun. What a scorcher! In the smog, the belted dark overcoats point spattered by the starlings. Starlings swarming in that perfect and permanent line above what was, never really was, this photograph, but always in the passing now, and noise, and stink, and smoky breath draws swear. Wee boys, a Duchess, Bunting, there's a big lodge in the Clyde, and that boat is yet to sail. Yeah, what was there? Very said that. Now, the thing about Starlings really didn't become a problem. I mean, I still live on the streets every night here, and if you're waiting for us in Glasgow, usually you get your back to down. We did that last week. So you had to wait like another evening, and then you're like, you get in the back of your jacket. And to begin with, this is what Glasgow did. The guy in the City Chambers took out literally 1 hour and fired blanks from a double-barreled shotgun to chase them off. But Starlings are pretty sensible, and I think they just checked their watches. Like, I can't be back now. I'm just going to sit here for a minute. Later, they would bring in a team of guys who were termed Cameron's Commandos, and they used floodlights, big loudspeakers, and all the rest of it to scare off the.
Mike.
Oh, sorry. I said they used floodlights, loudspeakers, and everything to scare off the swarms of Starlings. And it's a shame because I used to love to watch them because they would nest on Central Railway Station Bridge. And a winter night, when we were coming out and the light was just starting to go, it was sort of being that big swirling dance of somehow none of them bumped into each other. I mean, you couldn't choreograph that. I just used to love watching them. Another sound which I thought long vanished in the city is delightfully still here. During the recent track cycling championships, with the streets clear of car traffic, I was walking down to the Soho Gallery in Salt Market, where I'm close sponsoring 95-year-old artist Tommy Lawrence exhibition of paintings. Now it's thinking to the end of them. And I was just about to cross the Glasgow Cross, and all of a sudden, 10 steps, the hills of St Andrews in the Square. They've been shining out, marking time in this city since the 1600s, the case of told them. And yet, in our mad, gathering, car-centric world, we don't hear them. And to hear them bring out again, just think, we're missing something, we're all missing something here. So, if this evening I could offer you one piece of advice, take off your earpods, switch off your phones, go off grid, engage with your fellow citizens, speak to your neighbours, let your voice be heard. Soak up this magical city and its wonderful beauty, because that's you. Now, it wouldn't be. Oh, sorry. It wouldn't be Glasgow if I didn't end the joke. Amongst all our senses, we are most famous for our sense of humour. So they call me up Jimmy. Oh, it's trouble to sound with it. Fortunately, I never experienced one, although I did just used to have an outside surgery recently, which they are in the 90s doing fiction in the rain. And when you're about 7 years old, and it's pitch dark outside, and you're told to go to the shade, there's no bloody light there. So, usual tenant farmers, and of course, everybody takes their turn in the sphere, and some poor women by the end has to take turn in the clergy. And there's one guy in the tenant, and every time he goes to the toilet, he leaves it in this bastard state. There's not only keep it over the seat, it's up the walls, so in the ceiling, so the light fittings and the pool switch is absolutely everywhere. And eventually one of them catches him coming out of the toilet. Says, "You son, what the hell do you do in there?" And he says, "Very silly man." He goes, "I go to the bathroom and I'm in a habit of feeding salts." And she says, "Oh, no salts? Jack's salts? Andrew's love salts?" And he says, "No man, somersaults." So, thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed that.
I would like to thank you for adhering so faithfully to the festival. Would anyone like to ask one a question?
How do you source your photographs?
As it sort of said, the introduction, very much as a freedom of the lost archive. The amount of good archive stuff that's out there that isn't really part of an official archive. One of the, as I say, nearly 30 years in newspapers, and you get sort of used to the ways that pictures are filed. I love my photographer friends, but we're not all the best and basis spellers in the world. So if you look on almost any variation of Stucky Hall Street, you will find pictures pop up that aren't listed under something like Friedels and Friedels. Equally, if you look for Stucky Hall Strasse, you find pictures in German accents. If you look for Rue de Stucky Hall, you find pictures in French accents, which is a really nice sort of way of doing it. One of the sort of classic points of this, I think it was the 1920s, and there'd be whatever, Monday morning, probably the district court as opposed to the sheriff court, and like the first 5 guys that are through the door with charges, it's all come disorderly, and picked up the Saturday night, somebody said it was this Monday morning. And they'd all been arrested in Hope Street or Bath Street, and the sheriff demanded to know what was this crime wave that was happening in Hope Street and Bath Street. And the Monday reality was that most of the big posts in Glasgow were all big guys from the Gael tract, were all native Gaelic speakers, and they couldn't spell Sunday Hall Street, so they'd arrest folks of the Hall Street, drag them in Bath Street until they moved them.
Thanks very much. You mentioned earlier that there was a fish market in the Brigade building. You said it went from 3 AM to 8 AM. Was it like a wholesaler?
Yeah, it was the official wholesaler for the whole of the city. It's sort of weird because if you go down to the Brigade today, there's the one big main hall which I think is Wasps Artist Studios use now. They call it the sort of central atrium as an exhibition or event space. But there's a second equally large hall which hasn't been used for years, which I think just in the last couple of months they finally get permission and they're hoping to open some sort of wholesale fruit and vegetable market in there. Because all the markets used to be in the centre of the city. You not only had the fish market, the Brigade, the old fruit market and Bandle-Rids, we had the cheese market, and they all moved up to Lochbairn, to a really old council market facility. I think it was at 65 or 66. But prior to that, all the trading for everything, whether you were buying just e-books at apples from your corner shop, or you were just buying the apple, and you were buying 100 great apples, all that trading was right in the centre of the city. And I still remember the smell of around the fruit market on a hot summer's day, and it was that slightly fermented fruity smell and also a slight smell of cabbage. And because there was so much fruit out there, was also some of the biggest and most terrifying bees and wasps you've ever seen in your life. But as I say, by the time I got into it, it was beginning to sweep up. It came down there at 5 o'clock in the morning. There'd be vans and lorries, horses and carts and all the rest of it going up there. And folks shouting out voices. Yes, and now it all comes clean up.
Okay. Any other questions? We have one more.
I've certainly never been in it. What the situation will currently be, I'm not sure, because when Watt Brothers closed, they sold it to, I'm trying to remember the brothers' names, the guys that run Easdale Brothers, who run the bus company. And they just had, they put in an planning application to turn it into a hotel. But I don't know, the design just looked really bad. They added all this extra roof structure. So needless to say, the planners took on a look at it and went that. But I've no doubt they'll come back with an amended plan. What that'll mean for the basement area, who knows? I think the rest of it always for the last 40 years it's just been used for storage. It's not part of the
Well, please everyone join me in thanking Dory Wilson. Fantastic. I think that, looking at some of those pictures at Norristown, it's easy to be a bit downhearted about what Glasgow has lost. There's a really positive story to tell about the city and about the city's development. There's so much going on in the city at the moment. Glasgow Building Preservation Trust has made a film called This'll Be Great When It's Finished, and we're screening it tomorrow evening. There's still tickets available if you'd like to come along to that. On Friday there'll be another talk where we're going to be celebrating some of the projects that are happening in the city at the moment. There's Anderson, Pyramid Anderson, there's Botchard Hall, there's the Pipe Factory, and we're going to be hearing from some of those projects, so I encourage you to come along to them and to all the other wonderful events that happen. So thank you so much for coming.